After spending over 30 years in prison for the 1989 murder of their parents, the Menendez brothers have a shot at freedom. On May 13, a California judge ruled that Eric and Lyle Menendez would be resentenced from life in prison without parole to 50 years to life in prison, nearly 36 years after they shot and killed their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their Beverly Hills, Calif. home. In 1989, Eric confessed to his psychologist, whose mistress later reported it to the police. The brothers were arrested and, after 2 trials, eventually convicted in 1996 of first-degree murder, receiving life sentences without the possibility of parole. Now, the Resentencing makes Eric and Lyle immediately eligible for parole and allows Gov. Gavin Newsom to commute their sentence, per Fox 11 Los Angeles. The Menendez siblings made a virtual video appearance at the hearing and took full responsibility for the murders, Fox News reported. Lyle said that he was filled with rage at the time and that if he had the coping skills to deal with his emotions, he wouldn't have killed his parents. Here's everything to know about the Menendez brothers' new sentence and what it means for their potential for freedom. Lyle and Eric were first tried in 1993, where prosecutors claimed that they murdered their parents to inherit their $14 million fortune. The brothers testified that they killed them out of fear that Jose, who they alleged had sexually abused them for years, and Kitty, who enabled the molestation, were planning to kill them first. After the first trial ended in a deadlock, Lyle and Eric were tried again in 1996 and found guilty of first-degree murder in their parents' deaths. They were both sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Though Lyle and Eric have appealed their convictions multiple times, they'd always been denied. It wasn't until their lawyers filed a petition for a writ of habeas corpus in May 2023, citing new evidence alleged in the docuseries Menendez plus Menudo, Boys Betrayed, that they had a real shot at freedom. In the 2023 Peacock series, former 1980s boy band Menudo member Roy Rosello claimed that he was drugged and raped by Jose, who was the head of RCA Records at the time of his murder. The writ also included a letter Eric allegedly had written to a cousin months before the 1989 shooting that detailed his father's alleged abuse. Over a year after the petition was filed, then Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon made his formal recommendation that the Menendez brothers be resentenced as they qualified as youthful offenders during the murders. When Gascon lost his re-election, the new DA, Nathan Hochman, tried to withdraw Lyle and Eric's resentencing. But Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Michael Gzick denied the request. On May 13, Judge Gzick ruled to resentence Lyle and Eric to 50 years to life in prison. This new sentence means that for the first time, they're eligible for parole and could potentially go free. The judge acknowledged the absolutely horrific crime the brothers committed, but said that he was moved by how they spent their lives behind bars. Life without parole gives an inmate no hope, no reason to do anything good, the judge told reporters. And I give them a lot of credit. It's remarkable what they did when they had no hope of getting out. The Menendez brothers have spent 35 years in jail after their arrest in 1990. While in prison, Lyle spoke to a crowd over the phone at Nashville's CrimeCon in June 2024, sharing that he got his bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of California, Irvine. At the time, he said he was also considering getting a master's degree in urban planning to help with the work he's been doing to redesign the prison yard. I just decided even though I'm incarcerated and there isn't hope of freedom, I still have a chance to be a productive person and sort of feel like I'm proud of what I'm doing with my day, Lyle said. Education seemed like an obvious answer to that question. Eric reportedly spends his time meditating and is focused on his spirituality. With the 2025 resentencing, Eric and Lyle became immediately eligible for parole, but that doesn't mean they'll be walking free anytime soon. The California Board of Parole Hearings must determine if the Menendez brothers are suitable for release, per NPR. Even if they approve parole, the governor can still review and veto the decision, a process that can take up to 150 days. Newsom said in February that he had asked the parole board to investigate if the brothers posed an unreasonable risk to public safety, per NBC. Eric and Lyle had already had a board hearing set for June 13, 2025, for a separate clemency petition. It's unclear if that meeting will also serve as their first parole hearing. The day following the resentencing, lawyers told PAPL that it could still take some time for Lyle and Eric to be released.